So welcome to Beneath the Bubbles. My name is Beau Cremer, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about the first releases that I ever came out with. Why? Because I think it's a good place to start, so you get to actually know me and what I do. The first thing I actually created was iTime Rewind, about 4 years ago. I was actually sitting at home, just finished watching Back to the Future, and I thought, damn, that's such a good movie, I actually want to travel back in time. But how can I actually do that? And I came up with this little quick video that I posted on YouTube of just this time slightly rewinding. And it got a lot of attention. A lot of people messaged me asking me if this is actually released. I didn't have a plan to release it. I was just making a silly little video. And then as I worked back and actually got the trick to actually work to real world scenarios and situations, it actually took off. And 4 years later, we released it with the blue crown. And it's perfect. I don't like apps. I like the idea of it not being an app, so you could actually borrow someone's phone if you wanted to, which makes it really cool, I think, and a bit more versatile, makes it a bit more believable to the spectator as well. The borrowed version is a little bit more different than actually what you actually see in the trailer. The actual time, you actually erase their phone completely to the point where they're freaking out. Everything's gone back to factory standards. They start to get a little bit worried and a little bit scared. And then at that point, you rewind time then to just before you erase their phone, and it's back to brand new. Pretty good trick. But having said that, we've also created Papercut, which actually started from my brother, Beau Cremer. He's a magician and police officer in New South Wales, Australia. He came up to me and asked me if I had any shock magic that I'd like to, that he could perform for people when he was on the site and scenes around. So things just to break the ice between other people. So we come up with this idea where you tell, as a magician, you have all of this expectation, you've been practicing for ages, and you want to perform the best you can. So we come up with the idea that as people expect this, and you tell them that you've been practicing for a while, and you get into the magic and you practice, and you try to find their card to the point you get so frustrated and angry that you can't find their card, that you take out a knife. We actually originally started with a card, and you'd paper cut the web of your finger. But that got shock. But if you pull out a knife, people know how sharp a knife is. People get scared by knives. So you pull out a knife, you take it to your wrist or to your hand or wherever you want. And you bleed on the card, and it transforms into their selected card that they chose beforehand. And that was for him. And then a couple of months later, I never performed it, not my style of magic, but I created it for him. A couple of months later, the Blue Crown contacted me and asked me if I ever had some Halloween style magic. I told them I did, and I sent them the video of my brother performing, and they said, can you shoot and edit a trailer? And I shot something in 2 days because they wanted to release it for Halloween a couple of days later. So the whole thing was shot and edited in a couple of days. And we released it, but then we re-released it this year as we made the trailer better, and we fixed up some of the issues we had. No, nothing scary issues, but just I think camera quality issues that we had from when I was shooting on like an iPhone or something like that. So those are the releases that I've come out with. I've got probably about another 5 or 6 more in the works, releasing through quite a few people. I also create magic for other magicians. So this sounds a little bit weird. I don't know if the magicians tuning in, you know what this is. But for people that don't know, magicians also have consultants that also create magic for them for TV and stage. So they come in, the magician will come in and ask them for their ideas, what they have, kind of like what my brother did for me. And the magician will come in and say, can you create something for me for TV or stage that involves this? Or they'll come in and say, what have you got that contains an iPhone, for instance? And I'll tell them, oh, I've got this and this and this, and then they'll have to buy the rights to that. So a lot of times it's a lot of the magic that I get to practice ends up being owned by someone else and performed by someone else on TV and stage, and I can't perform it ever. But it's for them and for them only, and that's why I do my job. That's why I love it. I'd rather be traveling around, working behind the scenes, working with some of the greatest names in magic, because that's what I'd rather do. Don't know what else to say to that. I don't like being in the limelight. I don't want to be in front of a camera. Apart from now, because I'm in my happy place in a bar. So yeah, there you go. That's Beneath the Bubbles episode 1. with me, Beau Cremer, just to tell you a little bit about myself and what I do. Thanks, guys. See you later. It's really aggressive t-shirt I have off.